Welcome to the Chop Chop Podcast, everyone, presented by Who Dat Spirits, where we explore all things at the culinary scene in the best city in the world, New Orleans. I'm Tony.
That's right. I'm Jack. And that's right. We, Tony and I run around New Orleans. We check out some of our favorite spots, some of the new spots, some of the old Goldie spots, and we come back here to the Boot Crew Media Studio over on Magazine, sponsored by Royal Honda. And we come out here and share them with you guys. Come back to our studio. We got a new studio, by the way.
I know. It is so nice and cozy in here. I don't know if I want to get up.
Yeah, I know. I might
make sleep here.
Might drink enough of this Who Dat Spirits here. We might need to take a little nap on this couch right here. But
absolutely.
Anyway, it's a cool little studio. But
it is.
We got a great episode today.
Yeah, we have I feel like we have a good, maybe a hidden gem a little bit today. I don't know.
I feel like a lot of people know about the spot, but maybe not.
It's definitely off the beaten path.
Not everybody kind of goes there. Yeah.
Right.
So we went to this little spot over in Mid-City called Vessel.
Yeah, guys. And if you haven't heard of it, it has been open for quite a bit. We figured out maybe 6-ish years.
Yeah, we figured you went just before your wedding.
Correct, which was 5 years ago. So
and I think it was fairly new back then. So,
right.
But really cool spot.
Yeah.
So,
and it's an old church that was built in 1914. So, I mean, building's been there for a while.
It has been.
Which is pretty cool.
Should we maybe catch up on what we've been doing before we dive into Vessel?
Yeah, absolutely. Hit up any good spots?
Look, man, I was out of town recently, and I don't know. I came back in. Shima came back in town, and we started craving some crawfish. And it was kind of late on Sunday afternoon, I believe it was. And all places were running out of crawfish. And then we just happened to look up Clessy's and ended up going to Clessy's because it's in Mid-City right by the house.
Right.
So we walked over there, and they have that first time I've been there, and they had that cool little outdoor space.
Right.
And they were boiling away, dude. They had a line outside, but the crawfish were
I like
on
Clessy's.
point.
And Clessy's is like one of those really cool Mid-City spots where it's like outdoor, indoor,
right
on a great weather day.
Yep.
That whole area in general of Bienville has really blown up.
Yeah, it's a cool area. Like you said, you can go inside. They have the whole bar set up in there. They got TVs. They had the basketball game going on. But then outside, they had the whole outside area with the deck, and then the whole boil spit station.
Right. Yeah, because you can kind of see it. As you're eating in the little front patio, kind of. That's where they're boiling everything, right?
Yeah, that's it. And if you're like me, I love the smell of a crawfish boil.
Yeah.
So I like it's automatic draws you in.
If I remember correctly, that place used to be out of a bar on Bank Street, kind of right behind Jesuit.
Clessy's?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I think
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think they kind of just blew up, needed bigger spot. And that's when I think they moved to Bienville. Because I remember, Vic and I, and right when Vic kind of moved here to New Orleans, that was one of his go-to spots.
Okay.
And he first introduced me to that spot.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it's the one we would go to on Bank Street.
Cool.
Yeah, that's a great spot.
I hear I haven't been this season yet, but I hear Bayou Beer Garden's really good for crawfish too.
Yeah, speaking of Vic, he goes there all the time. I have yet to have crawfish there.
Yeah, I haven't had it.
But that's one of his go-to spots for crawfish.
I heard someone else talking to me about it as well, and I was like, man, I got to check out Bayou Beer Garden as well.
I went. It was
that's in Mid-City too. Right?
Yeah, I think it was the NFC Championship or AFC, whatever it is for the Bengals. AFC. We watched the game there, and they were doing crawfish, and there was a line around the corner because you got to wait for them. They don't just make a huge. They go pot by pot, so they just do one small boil, sell those out, then they do another one, sell those out. So they're definitely worth trying. I guess.
Feel like that's how Clessy's was because they weren't doing big.
Yeah, they're not making huge
pots. They had 4 different smaller,
which I like it that
pots
way.
going.
I like it better that way.
It was like a sack per pot, maybe something like that, maybe sack and a half.
Yeah. So.
But anyway.
Crawfish is gearing up, man. Everyone is serving crawfish right now.
I know. So. This is my, I think, fourth round of crawfish. So,
and I've yet to do a boil yet. Which is crazy.
We need to do that. So
we need to get one going.
Have you hit up any
I did. Spots? I got a chance to go to Chemin Lemaire, Donald's new spot in the Four Seasons.
Yes, indeed.
We went for our 5-year anniversary, and it was really good. I was thoroughly pleased. I was a little. And this is out of their control. You can tell that place has beautiful views of the city, right? Because and we went on that day that this was, a few weeks ago. It was terrible raining and tornado warnings in the city. So you couldn't see anything. And we had this beautiful spot in the corner like by the glass. So you could have seen everything if it was beautiful weather. But the food was outstanding. I had the I'm a big beef tartare guy.
Right.
That was really, really good. And then I had the duck confit over like this white bean mixture. That was unbelievable.
Does the I didn't have the beef tartare when I went, but is it comparable to his other spot, Pesh? Because I know they have a pretty good beef tartare over there.
Yeah, theirs is good. I can't remember what they serve the beef tartare with at Pesh, but at the new spot, it's French fries, which is I've never seen that before.
I like that. I think it's crackers at
Pesh, maybe. Some people do like toast points, crackers.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of things. I've seen people do Zapp's chips, but this was French fries, which I thought was really good. The server told us, no, I didn't do it because I'm a purist on beef tartare, but
okay.
She said it comes with this like dipping sauce as well. She said you're supposed to take the sauce, pour it over the beef tartare, and then take the whole cup of fries and pour it on top, and then like kind of eat it with a fork almost. She said there's something about the heat of the fries melts the sauce into the. But I wanted to try the beef tartare itself.
That sounds pretty cool though.
Yeah, it was. She was really good, a really good waitress, and she was the ones that really wants to make your experience better.
Right.
And so that was cool. So she was giving us all kinds of hints and things to do. And she said it was something that they weren't really like trained to tell people, but it kind of people started doing it in the restaurant. And she's like, people love it. So now we tell people to do it. So next time, maybe I've got to try it.
It's a good spot. Shima and I have been a couple of times now, and the service has always been spot on.
Yeah,
and,
spot on.
And the food has been spectacular as well.
Yeah, and they made a I've been in the mocktail game now because my wife's 6 months pregnant, so we've been getting mocktails everywhere we go, and theirs was one of the best I've ever had.
So you're drinking mocktails as well?
No, but I'm trying them because I just want to see what they taste like.
Right, of course.
And I've also been convinced. I said this weekend in Houston. I'm convinced every mocktail is like the greatest drink I've ever had. If it just had vodka in it, it would be in bad. Because I've yet to have a bad one, and I've said every time I've gotten it, like, man, if this had some tequila or if this had some Hudat vodka, this would be unreal.
They're normally fruity, right?
Yeah, for the most part, but
maybe you just like fruity drinks.
Maybe.
Tony. I mean, you do order the fruitiest drinks.
Yeah. But like Christina doesn't like fruity much. So she's been asking like, oh, can you do some like ginger beer heavy ones? Because ginger beer helps pregnant women,
Okay.
So she's been like, oh, can you do like a ginger beer heavy mocktail? And it's always phenomenal. Like so I'm gonna start being like, can you make a mocktail? And then I need a shot of vodka next to it.
Yeah. Make that 2 and just add some vodka to the 1.
Yeah. So, but no, all in all, I thought the place was really, really good.
Yeah, it's a good spot.
Again, Donna Link strikes again. Great spot.
Yeah, so, I know. Yeah. He doesn't miss, man.
He does. He is. And you know what's weird? I didn't realize this. That us and the table. So the table we were at, like I said, we were on the glass, and they seat you so you're facing outside, so you can't see anything behind you.
Right.
And the table behind us was fairly loud. You could just tell they were having fun. Typical restaurant in New Orleans. The table behind us was enjoying themselves. And we got up at the same time as them. And as we walked out, it was Donald Link. So good to see that he's also enjoying his own restaurant. You got to. So
it's a good spot if you're eating there too.
Correct. Right. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. Back to Vessel, man. I think it's a good little spot.
Vessel is a good spot. I've been there. I can't tell you how many times I've been there, maybe 3 times. I've been there just for drinks as well. It's a great spot for cocktails.
Yeah.
And this is the first time actually that I've had lunch there. I've always only had dinner.
Correct.
Cocktails.
I've been a handful of times as well. All of them have been at night. It's all been for dinners or like a pre-drink spot before you start your night. Their drinks have always been phenomenal. The mixologist there, whoever's creating their bar menu, is just done a fantastic job.
And I mean, just you walk in and you look at the bar and you're going to get a good drink just because of the way the bar looks.
Right. Like, for those of y'all who haven't been, it's like stained glass all behind the bar. Yeah. It's beautiful.
So you walk, like he said earlier, Tony said earlier, it's a church, mid-city. It's a beautiful church. You walk inside, you still know it's a church.
Yeah. Minus the pews and an altar.
And an altar.
It's a church still.
Yeah. Stained glass, everything. the bars on the left hand side. It runs the length of the restaurant pretty much.
Yep.
And then it's just like it looks like it's floor to ceiling.
Yeah.
Stained glass, but then it's all liquor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stacked.
They did a great job of like, you know, a lot of restaurants make the bar the focal point, right?
Right.
Because I mean, it could be so colorful. It could be so, you know, unique. And they did a good job of like still making it feel like a church, but it's a bar, you know? And then also, where else in the world can you go to a church and drink and eat than New Orleans, right? Like, go figure. It would take us to like, that church looks like it'd be one hell of a bar.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. I could see like clearing the tables out and have like a nightclub in that place.
Yeah, it's a great spot. It's
really
definitely a good spot for drinks. So starting with drinks, I started with the Tipping Point, which is a vodka drink with elderflower, orange liqueur, and like some sparkling wine, and that was really refreshing, especially for a lunch. You know, if you're gonna day drink, kind of, I could have had multiple of those. Very, very light, but tasted great. Really, really good.
Yeah, I went a little heavier. I'm a bourbon drinker, so I went with the high flyer. It's kind of like I don't want to say like a old fashioned take, but it was a really nice bourbon cocktail. It was no rocks, no ice, just up. Nice flavor.
I will say those. I don't know the exact terminology for those glasses that they were sold. They presented them to us in. They're like the
Are
glasses.
those like the old school champagne glasses?
Yeah, I think that is an actual. Yeah, I think it's a French champagne glass.
Okay,
but I'm glad you. Yeah, that kind of brought it back to me. That's what champagne is supposed to be drank out of. And I feel like I've never had a bad drink in a glass like that. You know, like every drink I've been served to and something like that, I'm like, damn, this one's good.
Maybe it feels a little fancy, so it tastes a little fancier.
Yeah,
too.
Maybe.
I don't know.
It's the
whatever I had was.
It's delicious. In that, you know, that like famous portrait of from The Great Gatsby. Where he's holding. I think that's what he's holding.
I think you're right.
I think it's that kind of glass.
Or is it a martini glass?
No, I think it is. I don't know. We'll see. But I think that's it. Either way. Now I feel like Great Gatsby every time I drink out of that.
Either way, it's classy as hell.
And at like the bare minimum, at least I feel like Leonardo DiCaprio when I drink out of that. That's could be a good.
That's a solid feeling.
I definitely would have sank the door though if she would have let me on it. So, but going on to appetizers, we had some really good appetizers. We got 3 altogether. I would say 2 were phenomenal. 1, I think, in my opinion, may have missed the mark a little bit.
Okay,
still good, but I don't know. We'll see what you think on it. Let's start with that fish dip.
Yeah, so we had the smoked fish dip, and I thought that was an amazing dish. Yeah. I'm a big fan of the smoked fish dip over at Pish.
Right.
And when this one came out, it has like nice thick pieces. What kind of bread was that?
Focaccia. Grilled focaccia, yeah.
And man, it had a nice the fish dip was amazing though. And it wasn't too smoky.
No, it was almost like a roasted flavor. But in the description or anything, nothing says that it was roasted in there. But
no,
it definitely had like a roasted pepper taste. But yeah, it wasn't heavily smoked. And it was really good.
Nice and smooth, real smooth. And then on that focaccia bread, it was just amazing.
Yeah, and they topped it with like some really good olive oil and some capers.
Some capers, yeah.
Which I thought was really good. And
nice little touch.
I agree with you. I think Pesh has a phenomenal one, but this one was
definitely rivals it for
sure.
Yeah,
like it puts up its gloves and is willing to fight for that top spot there because it's very good.
The other app we had was a duck confit tartelette.
Yes, and like I said, I love if duck confit's on the menu, I'm ordering it. I'm a big duck guy.
So.
And I thought that was really good.
It was good. It was the tartelette was. Is that what it is? A tartelette?
Yeah,
that was nice and light.
It's like a tortellette is kind of, guys, it's like a mini puff pastry pie almost. I thought it was good. I thought it was very light. I'm glad you said that. I thought it was very light for being duck confit, which is duck cooked in fat, and then brie, which is also can be a heavier cheese. For those 2 things being combined, I thought it was a very light dish.
It was a light little appetizer for having all those
and
complexities to it.
There was like some wild mushrooms, I think, or something on top of it too, which that was really good. I think as much as I like the fish dip, I thought that fish dip was really good. my favorite thing today was that duck.
Was it the duck?
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought that was really good. I could have eaten that as a meal almost. It was
Gonna
very
have to
good.
get a bigger
Few
one.
of those, yeah.
And then the third appetizer that we had was the crawfish croquettes. They were pretty good, man. You know, it's a fried dish, so
Yeah.
you know, I think you lose a little bit whenever it comes to the friedness of a dish. But overall, I enjoyed it. But
Yeah,
when
I
it
thought
stood
it was-
next to the other two, I think
Yeah, and maybe that's why I thought it may have missed the mark, is maybe because the other two were just so good.
Yeah, they really
But
shined.
I just thought it lost a little bit of the crawfish flavor. To me, it just tasted like a normal croquette, like the I don't want to call it a hush puppy because it's above a hush puppy, but
No doubt.
yeah, but it like that corn mixture. You know, there were some whole corn in there. I think serrano peppers, scallions, Parmesan cheese, and you could see, you know, pieces of crawfish and stuff in it. I guess you're right. I guess it was just maybe outshined by the other two that were on the table.
And then, like I mentioned this while we were at lunch, my personal opinion when it comes to crawfish, I love them boiled and I love them in an étouffée.
Right.
I'm not the biggest fan of them outside of those two types of
and I feel like a lot of people are that way. I know my sister's the same way. She's boiled crawfish and étouffée if she's got to, but other than that, she does not like crawfish cooked in anything else.
Really.
And I think a lot of people are like that, shockingly. But other than that, I thought they were really good.
Yeah, all the apps were fantastic. I mean,
and putting the two things we've already talked about, drinks and appetizers, that I think is what makes that place so cool, is because you can go there, get drinks, some picking food, and then roll, you know, like
right.
You don't need to get meals there.
No, and they didn't have like a small section of appetizers. They had a nice
like some of their
list of appetizers on there. So I mean, you could definitely go with a group of people if you don't want to have dinner. You just want to have like almost some tapas.
Right. Yeah, they had that
just a bunch of cocktails.
Oh, they do that big cheese board too. So you could just sit there and eat wine and cheese or cocktails and cheese. They got the crab meat au gratin, roasted cauliflower dish, you know, so you can definitely just go there and pick, you know, table share, you know, no one needs to get their own. Oh, there's my phone. There goes the phone. No one needs to get their own dish. It's just, you know, everyone can just pick.
I think the first time I went there, they have like different height tables, and one of them's like a communal table right by the bar.
Yeah, like a long high top.
And I think the first time I went, that's where we sat, and that's exactly what we did. We just had a ton of appetizers.
Right.
And everybody just kind of, you know, had drinks and nibbled on different things throughout the night. So
right. And then we moved on. Jack and I both got sandwiches. And like we said, this is our first time we've gone for lunch. So we've only really seen some of their entrees. So this was my first time at least seeing the sandwich menu. And I got the BLT, which was very good. It was on the same bread that came with the smoked fish dip, that grilled focaccia, applewood smoked bacon, Roma tomatoes, a maison sauce, which is like a fancy mayo. It's like an aioli almost. Baby arugula. I mean, it was really good. And I'm not the biggest BLT person. It's not like something I'm always going to order. But when I asked her what was better, the BLT or the caprese sandwich.
Right.
And she said the BLT. So I felt like I had to go with it then. But I thought it was really good.
It looked delicious.
Yeah. And then
it was huge. It looked like it was massive.
It was big. Yeah. I only ate half of it. Yeah. I mean, but then again, we did fill up on apps, but I thought it was really, really good.
It was good. So. And I had the grilled Mediterranean burger, and it was 8 ounces, and it was a blend of lamb and beef. And it was like a nice combination of the blend, because you still got the lamb flavor, but it wasn't like an overpowering lamb flavor. You know what I'm saying?
Lamb can get really strong.
Right. It was more of a subtle flavor, which was perfect. And hang on, let me get my menu open here. And then it also had on it, had goat cheese, sauteed mushrooms, caramelized onions, arugula, mustard, and maison sauce, all on a brioche bun.
Yeah.
A brioche bun with and it came with those rosemary buttered.
Yeah. Guys, I was going to wait for him to explain his dish, because both of our dish came with these fries. It is a brown butter rosemary fries.
That's right.
And before I had these fries today, I was a go-to truffle fry guy.
Truffle fries are fantastic.
I love truffle fries. I still do. I think they're phenomenal.
Little aioli sauce.
Yeah. But if I had to choose between truffle and these brown butter rosemary, I think I'm going brown butter rosemary. Those were very good.
They were really really good. And it was more like a subtle.
Yeah, it was not overpowering at all.
But it was just the right amount. And then they had their little, what was that sauce called? What did she call it?
Maison sauce with it as well, right?
Maison sauce, right? It's
they were throwing that shit with everything.
Like an aioli type sauce, right?
Yeah.
And those fries were
very good. And like it just, you could taste the butter, you could taste the rosemary was like not too strong, but just enough to where I was like, fuck, this is really good, you know? Like I could imagine taking that same butter and like doing a steak in it or something. Oh man.
And they were nice. Like I'm a fan of the style fries they were too, like shoestring style.
Yeah.
Nice, thin.
Yeah.
Crunch all around.
Yeah. They were really good. I guess if you're going to toss something in butter, you know, you don't want them to be too like thick and then they get real soggy.
Right.
Like
yeah. No,
it was a perfect fry for that kind of, you know, way of serving it. Cause it was really, really good. So
overall it was a great experience. Our server was great too. We didn't get her name though, unfortunately.
No, we didn't. We're terrible. But no, she was great. The place was great. And shockingly, it was empty. Yeah. And I guess we did go late.
We did have a late lunch. I feel like it's not necessarily in a lunch spot.
It's not. Yeah. There's no like big businesses around it or, you know, there's no, no corporate buildings or anything like that around it. So I would imagine they would probably, I don't want to say struggle, but I would imagine their lunch is not that busy.
No, but you go at night.
Yeah, I've been sometimes where it's slammed.
It's popping at night.
Especially that bar. The bar's hard to get a spot at, especially on a Friday, Saturday night.
Overall, it was a good choice.
Overall, very good.
Nice spot. So
definitely a spot I'd go back. Definitely a spot I need those fries again. That's for sure.
What you got coming up? Anything in the calendar in the near future?
Not much. Just some March Madness this weekend.
You got Hogs for the Cause going on
this weekend too.
I'm gonna be out of town, unfortunately. But
yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna swing out there, but man, it's a great event. This is actually probably will be my first year I don't go.
Yeah.
And like
normally Tony and I are on a team.
Right. Captain Porkenheimer.
Right.
Those guys will be out there. They're the reigning champs of the wing division.
That's right.
So, you know, go see their booth. I'm sure they're going to crush it this year. They always do.
Definitely go out to Hogs for the Cause. It's a great organization. They raise money for pediatric cancers and things such as that. So, and is it in Belle Chase again?
No.
Or is it back at?
It is back at UNO.
Back at UNO. Okay.
Yep. Great bands. Great. It's a great cause. I mean, anything that goes to pediatric brain cancer, you know, it's hard to not want to support that.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, y'all go be safe. Make sure you swing by Hogs for the Cause this weekend.
And check out Vessel as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll be back soon.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Keep eating New Orleans.